Item number SCP-610, Object Class Keter, Special Containment Procedures. Due to the vast area of infection SCP-610 covers, containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proved far more efficient, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of the area under the guise of military operations. Should any organism displaying traits consistent with SCP-610 be sighted near this perimeter, then the established protocol requires it be engaged at range with small arms until immobile, then dispatched using incendiary weapons and munitions from a great a distance as possible. Any living thing coming into physical contact with an organism infected by SCP-610 is considered expendable and is to be immediately terminated and incinerated. Any persons coming within 3 meters of SCP-610's infected life are to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subject to medical examination using remote techniques to determine if infection has occurred and appropriate steps be taken based on that determination. At present, the known infection vectors of SCP-610's spread seems to be focused on physical contact. Drone limits within heavily infected areas have returned air samples containing minute particles which, when exposed to organic compounds, will result in SCP-610 spread. The results of these particle tests have given most require several days to manifest, if at all, with an exception of direct contact with exposed lung and liver tissue. These particular tests show a rapid rate of growth which require incineration of the test environment no less than 24 hours after initial exposure, with even a 2-hour mishap risking a compromised facility event. Given that this kind of rapid growth only occurs in organic material existing outside the human body, this form of infection is considered a minor concern. These peculiarities have given rise to a series of questions regarding the possible origins of the infection. In conjunction with the failed data expunged, containment protocol remains on a scorched earth policy at this time, and no concern for transmission via water or air at the infection parameters exists barring situational changes in the field. Description: initial reports of SCP-610 came direct from the Russian government through undisclosed channels. These reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region and were not considered until local police, followed by regional police, and finally a government dispatched agent, all failed to report within a 72-hour period. At this point, a small military coalition was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Balaki in southern Siberia. Areas of known infections are marked on a map provided to us. Containment parameters are marked in blue surrounding these infected areas, and as of present, no further locations have been identified. Incursions into the parameter must be reported prior to conducting, confirming during exploration, and debriefing on immediate following return. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease. First symptoms include rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes resembling heavy scar tissue to form on the chest and arm areas, spreading to the legs and back within an additional hour, consuming the victims completely within 5 hours. Exposure to high temperatures vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which time they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move of its own accord and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point of the infection, and the path of mutation appears to be largely random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs of a type, such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen and elongated or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow. The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable. Where it roots itself, the fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection as living creatures do, however. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable to continued growth of the other infected. Observation of life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as a natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infections. Those infected past the scar tissue phase and actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. It has been established that should an infected be capable of sight and observe an uninfected, it will proceed toward them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe. Observation of the SCP-610 infected settlements has been established using artificial methods such as remote robots and surveillance drones. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in a Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or exit the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. Of concern are the current cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements that were discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas is underway. This, to me, honestly, it sounds like the Borg mixed with a zombie virus, mixed with a rage virus, and a really bad skin condition. Heaven forbid any of this stuff ever got near like a huge populated area. You'd never stop it. Never, ever stop it. And I understand why it definitely has a Keter classification. If you enjoyed this reading, please click that like and subscribe button. I have some more SCPs up on the screen for you at the moment, and this will be entered into an SCP playlist. I hope you all had a good time.